Hello, we do have a clan war ready whenever. Let me just get this game started. It will be NazGaming versus InVisioN. At this point in time it will be a best of 7, but it may jump up to best of 9. Again, this is something NazGaming asked me to do, so my pleasure. It is a friendly. So we won't be having a PvP, it appears, in our first game. So just waiting on the players. I don't know too much about either of these clans. Might do a little bit of research in the break between the first game. And it seems like we're all clear to go. I actually have quite a few viewers. Ref specs. Hopefully I can get a ref spec so I don't have to hear their chat. And we do have the countdown music, so it looks like we're about to start game number 1. Will be a PvP as we jump into the game screen. Aquitus versus Solstice. It will be Cloud Kingdom Ellie, our first match. And we'll get straight into introductions, and then we'll do some final preps on the stream, and then we should be good for the remainder of the stream. So let's jump straight into it. Spawning in our bottom left-hand corner, we do have the representative for NazGaming, our purple Protoss, Naz Solstice. I'd like to have fun, good mana over there. Spawning in our top right-hand corner, the other Protoss representing InVisioN. We do have the green Protoss, Aquitus. Please let me know if any of my pronunciations are wrong. Sometimes I am retarded. So bear with me as I update this scoreboard. I will jump into one of the player cams just while I do this, so you have something to entertain yourselves. And I think we're all sweet. Let me know if anything is incorrect. At this point in time, it is a best of 7 GSTL format All-Kill. It could become best of 9. I'm not sure. I think one of the teams is not sure if they have enough for a best of 9. And PvP on this map. I mean, I'm a Terran myself. I don't have that much experience with PvP. So I guess it'll be interesting. Give it a few minutes, we'll be able to see exactly what happens. Pretty standard opening. The notable thing is to look at gas timings. Also, if any probes are cut. Obviously, if we see 20 probes and then no more, we will more than likely be seeing a 4-gate. So bear with me if any of the information I give is incorrect, or if an obvious sign I don't quite get. But both parties are scouting each other. Actually, we will jump on this cam over here. We do have Aquitus will actually jump into the base first. And let me know if anything on the stream is laggy or anything like that. I can see the chat. So Aquitus now in the base does see that there is a gas being taken. And more than likely we'll just stick around and see that the sub-next core goes down. I guess with PvP you don't necessarily have much to attack you early in the game. Both still on 1 gas and the cyber core. And it looks like this probe might actually go down on 10 health, 2 hits away. Does get away. An interesting first move that changes the game. We do have a quiz putting down a gas, so this will limit the options for Solus. Won't be able to do any 2 gas, potentially fast robo, or any kind of heavy tech like that. Although I feel most, I was going to say most PvPs don't seem to get that second gas early, but as I said that, he is getting his own second gas, so perhaps going to be opting for a more tech-based build, and obviously denying that second gas for Solus. But we do have Warp gate and a stalker in production. He's hiding his probe down here, maybe going for a secondary scout later, as is Solstice. And interesting to see what he uses with this double gas. More than likely we'll be seeing both Protoss stay on one base for some time. And he is getting his own gas back. We do have 2 more gates going down. And he doesn't really have that much vision. And interestingly, we do see the robo. So 1 gate robo, I guess that implies why we had that early gas. Maybe going for either quick immortals or colossi, perhaps. Again, it seems like it's going to be a lull in anything notable. We do have what is that? We do have a Twilight Council going down. He can see it, so interesting placement. If he had put it a bit to the left, sorry for that lag. If he put it a bit to the left, he wouldn't have actually been able to see it, but he does know Twilight Council is on the way. More than likely, we'll be seeing Blink Stalker action. As we look at the unit count, 2 Stalkers, no Zealots so far. And at 27 workers, be 23, so Aquidus in the lead in terms of economy, and he's getting his 4th gates. So maybe, I guess given that we have a gates here, we do have an Immortal. I was saying we may be seeing some Blink Obs, but looks like we are chronoing out an Immortal with 4 gates behind it. Immortals being exceptionally good versus Stalkers. And he is chronoing out Blink. So it will be a Blink, Stalkers versus Robo Gate at this point in time. He does have his own sentry. And looks like Solstice is going to try and get some map vision. Those Stalkers look pretty Gosu with that dark purple look. I will say that. And he actually is getting his own Robo. So more than likely we'll be seeing an Observer out of this first, I feel. Just so he has that opportunity to blink up into the main base. But we do have a second Immortal, so no Observer for Aquidus. Doesn't really need one. He doesn't have Blink, or it doesn't have it on the way. And we might actually be seeing a timing attack, or maybe just expanding behind it. But a nice map vision from Solstice. We'll see... Oh, actually doesn't see... And now he will see that there is Immortals. And looks like we might be having an engagement pretty shortly. Blink will be finished by the time this push hits, both on 0-0. No cannon, sorry, no forge, so there won't be any upgrades anytime soon. But there is no sentry, so he won't be able to be forced with the ramp. We do have an defensive pylon landing as well. And interestingly, an warp prism as well. But back up top, we do have... Solstice has his own... both actually got 2 pylons going down, so might be able to do a bit of damage as all of Aquidus' army is at the front, and looks like we're about to have an engagement. And a lot of lag there, apologies. But those Zealots go down very quickly, and he only has 4 Stalkers. He is warping in a few more. I guess that's the issue with him actually warping in 3 Zealots up the top. He didn't have the ability to warp in back home. We can turn on the unit bars. And Aquidus in a bit of a... Sorry, Solstice in a bit of issue at the moment. Those Immortals are going to do so much damage to those Stalkers. And looks like he's just going for the probe line at the moment. But back up the top, he is in his own problem. He does have 4 Zealots in production, so we'll be able to wrap this up pretty quickly. So it looks like both parties in a lot of trouble, in each other's bases. And if he can get this Immortal, it will actually be quite a big deal. But no, that DPS is so big, up to 6 kills in total. And the Zealots have now been taken care of. And yeah, and Solstice in a lot of trouble. If you look at the worker count, 3 workers, you'd expect a GG pretty soon. But again, perhaps having those 3 Zealots warp up here was a bit too overzealous, no pun intended. But this Immortal was a key aspect in this attack, up to 9 kills, doing 50 damage versus Stalkers and buildings. Just decimates them. So that Blink Stalker action wasn't really able to do any damage. He did kill a few workers, 4 with those Zealots, but again, interestingly, I'm not sure why Solstice is still in the game. And there is the GG. So InVision will take game number 1. It was an interesting game with both parties actually attacking each other at simultaneous times, but that Immortal proving invaluable in that attack. And looks like we'll be jumping into game number 2 very shortly. So bear with me as I get some music going, and we'll be back shortly. And we are jumping into game number 2 lobby. Map choice of Taldrum Alta. So Aquidus will be attempting to take down, it appears, Bevdog. Looks like he's a Zerg player, so it might be a PVZ we are about to have. Looks like both parties are opting to have all of their players in the game as opposed to watching the stream, which is fun. Wet Towel, you are both in the game and in chat. I see what you're doing there. As my Skype does go offline. And we get the music started. It looks like we're about to start game number 2. It will be a ZVP Aquidus vs Bevdog. And we jump into the game screen now. As I chuck off the screen just for a moment. And we'll get straight into introductions and then we'll update the scoreboard. So is a Taldrum Alta spawning in our bottom right hand corner. We do have the representative for NazGaming. Is the second player for them and will be a Zerg. We've got the light ping Zerg Naz Bevdog. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner. The victor of the first game with the PvP with some nice immortal play. We do have the green Protoss representing InVisioN Aquidus. And again, I'll jump on. Let's do Dog's Vision as I update the scoreboard. So I have to jump them around. And you can listen to my whistling. It will be a 102 InVision. And I guess given the size of this map, while I'm updating, I'll try and multitask. Given the size of this map, it's more than likely we'll be seeing a pretty fast expand, more than likely even a 15 expand from Bevdog. Just because of the size, you can generally get away with it. And it looks like we have some pressure from the probe. I think this is correct. Let me know if it... oops, I haven't quite changed. I think that's it. I think we're good. Let me know. InVision 1 up. Alright, cool. Let's go back into the game. So, actually, Bevdog has had his expo denied quite a bit. Ended up putting down a spawning pool. It looked like he was gearing up for a 15 hatch, but ended up getting that spawning pool. Meanwhile, we look here. It looks like we will be having a forge fast expand. Maybe even the expand first. So, quite a greedy expand. A 15 Nexus. So, if Bevdog sees this, which he will soon, I have a feeling he'll gear up for either a 1 base or a 2 base early pressure. The fact that the Nexus was started before the Forge will mean, obviously, that it's up earlier, but it also means that any defenses will be take a little bit longer before they can come up. No cannons or gateway units for some time. And drops the pylon. And it looks like we will be going for Roach off 1 base. Now this could do a lot of damage. As I said, he will have like limited defense for some time. So if Bevdog can pick his timings, then he might be able to do quite a bit of damage. Interesting to see if he opts for a 1 base or a 2 base. And it looks like he's getting 2 lings, so he might just get that pylon down, expand behind it, and then go for a 2 base roach. Actually, no, he's building an in-base hatchery. It will be seen pretty quickly, but again, the fact that Kudus can't really do anything about it. The only thing he can do right now is build cannons and pull probes, but I think he'll be able to manage it pretty easily. But it's an interesting decision. If DevDog can keep this up, he will be able to produce roaches from there, and I feel like potentially may need more than 1 pylon. This pylon looks like it's about to go down. He is expanding in 2 locations. Can you see this? He can see both. So he's just almost playing it like a PvP in the sense that just building a lot of hatcheries. He may even cancel this if need be. Only lose 75 minerals. And the fact that he will bypass this defense at the front will be quite a big deal. There's only 1 cannon. Soon to be 2 cannons, but again, he can always just cancel this hatchery if need be. More than likely won't though, because it will have quite a bit of health still. And we'll just pump out some roaches. And if we look at the 21 workers, the unit count, he actually hasn't made a gateway yet. He is just starting it now, so he's relying completely on photon cannons. Now he does know that this expansion is about to pop, but this this cannon is out of range. He is building his own cannon now. This will complete though, and he is expanding behind it as well. And like I said, won't have gateway units out for quite some time. And what do we have? A queen and a roach. Interestingly enough, when it finished, it was InVision. And it looks like he actually will be able to kill the cocoon before it finishes. Cannons Yuso Gosu. Will he get it? He does get it, so the roach doesn't complete there, but the queen will come out very shortly. This second cannon though will be able to deal with it quite effectively, and I think Kudus is going to hold this pretty comfortably. Now that he has 2 cannons up, he is expanding behind it. This roach more than likely will take out and the queen does go down. So DevDog can't attack yet. He has to have a few more roaches before he can attack this, but again, he is, has to do damage with this. He is expanding behind it, but the fact that Protoss is already expanded up to 28, it's not looking too good. He has got his second up now. And yeah, I can't see this going very well for DevDog. His lava just did finish, and he more than likely will pump out. Actually, he has no gas left. He actually has no. Oh, sorry. I was looking. Sorry, I was looking at Kudus. He does have gas, but these lava will go down. So basically, this is all that he has left to do. Nice micro with the roach there. He will be able to take this one out, and also get rid of this pylon. He has bypassed all these defensive pylons. And actually, it's probably a big thing that he got these 5 roaches out on the field. I don't know why he's attacking. I feel like he should... I guess he is going for the probe line. And these probes are being pulled. So I'm actually impressed by how DevDog was able to get 5 roaches before it was taken out. And he actually is out of range of these cannons. So we'll be able to just kill this Expo pretty easily. If he can micro his roaches effectively. We'll lose 1. Will he lose 1? 1 and 2 go down. So now down to 3. And actually, good control from Kudus will mean that these roaches will go down. If we look at the units lost, he did kill 9 workers. But again, if we look at the units lost, actually it's pretty even. So it's a pretty crazy game. Both games have been pretty odd. But Kudus will be in the lead in the sense that he has got the expo up for more time. Even though he lost a few workers, he still is above NavDog. And how many gates does he have now? 5 gates. And it looks like we have 4 gas as well, so quite a bit of gas income. And 5 gates in production. He doesn't have a cybernetics core yet though. Oh, he does? Sorry, does he? Where did he put a cyber core? Oh, it's just there. Sorry. I am blind as a bat. So he will be getting warp gate speed pretty quickly, I would feel. But I guess back home, the roach obviously was there for some time. Still on hatchery tech. And actually built quite a few roaches, so we'll probably need to play quite greedy to get back in the game, I feel. We do have level 1 upgrades and warp gate on the way, but quite heavy zealot composition. And I'm generally confused by how this game is going out. This is definitely something I haven't seen before. And these Zerglings more likely will jump up here and scout. But looks like we have quite a sizable roach army here. What is that? 11 roaches. Only 2 cannons at the front. These cannons will go down very quickly. And these zealots actually can't engage at all. He will take down his second gate as well. And these zealots will go down quite quickly. Nice stutter step. I don't know if you call it stutter step. Roach step. From a Bev Dog. This second cannon will go down very quickly. And maybe building those zealots was a mistake for Kudos. Won't be able to do quite very much damage given that he had to go through that choke. And more than likely will, jump straight through. If we look at the unit counts here, only 3 Stalkers on the field versus the 22 Roaches. And they are streaming across the map. He has stopped all upgrade and warp gate. And this is just so back and forth. I don't know what to say. These Stalkers are doing the damage that they can, but again, if NazDog just basically kills these roaches, sorry, these Stalkers, it will be in a decent position. The cannon goes down, only 6 Stalkers trying to get back into the main base, but again, the fact that I don't know, it's his roaches aren't all the way through. He definitely needs to pull them through, but he does have a lot of reinforcements streaming through. If we look, actually, they're overlords. I don't know what they're doing. See the offensive rally point, but needs to be careful not to go too far into the base. This is unnecessary damage on the cannons. He should just basically kill this Expo. It is free damage that these cannons are doing, and but we do have a sizable amount. What was that up to now? If we look at the unit count, 15 Roaches, now 14 versus the 4 Stalkers. And it definitely is an all-in from BevDog. No way he can recover from this unless he does a significant amount of damage. And all he needs to do is kill these pylons, avoid any power to the gateways, and he can basically do as he pleases. And it looks like he'll be focus firing at these pylons as well. I guess the big thing was that he didn't actually get Warp Gate out, so he does have to chrono out as if he was playing like a Terran. And it's pretty bad because if he can get these pylons before they complete, then they are obviously dispowered. But all of the workers have been killed. If we look at the workers, 29 lost now, only 1 Stalker left, and you'd feel like BevDog's in a pretty good spot at the moment. We do have a Stargate almost complete. That is a notable thing to look at. If he can get a Void Ray out, he will be able to repel this completely. We do actually have 2 Stargates now. Where is that second one? Back here, and looks like he's rebuilding his gates. So if we look at the vision, he actually doesn't know it's over there, and needs to be careful. This Void Ray will come out pretty quickly, and interestingly not killing the Nexus, and we'll be able to take out this Nexus if he wants. He does see that the does he see? Now sees that the Stargate is on the way, so more than likely we'll be seeing more Queen production and potentially Hydralisk as well. Basically has to do as much damage as he can. We'll try and take out this Nexus, and these probes actually could probably do quite a bit of damage. But it looks like he is... I'm not sure. The thing about BevDog is he hasn't been focus firing anything really. He's just been kind of changing up his mind. And interestingly enough, going for the cannons. I don't know if he's not controlling his units. He is kind of getting some more units back home. 52 now, so has droned up quite hard. So it's... I don't know. I feel like I'm not casting well because I'm so confused at what's going on. But we do have a lot of Void Ray production. These Overlords need to be careful not to be caught out. This one Overlord definitely will go down. We do have 6 Spore Crawlers in production, almost complete. So these Void Rays won't be able to do much damage. And the Hydralisk Den has just finished. It is on Lair Tech. And basically, it's been pretty crazy. 38 workers is never a good amount to lose. Protoss is in a dire situation, only at 20 workers. And still hasn't got Warp Gate. So it has to do a lot of damage, you'd feel, with these Void Rays. But they are taking out a lot of these Overlords. In fact, I'd say all of them are going to go down quite easily. So much damage on those Void Rays. And we'll have to use quite a bit of money in resupply. And 2 Hydras in production. And quite a few Queens, so I feel pretty confident in being able to hold this. And he will be repelled. more than likely will be attacking this extractor outside the vision or the range of the Spore Crawler, trying to get that charge, but no, he is actually retreating away. And he's just going pure Void Ray at the moment, maybe thinking that there is a third up. But if we look, there are so many, what is that, 8? We have 8 Spore Crawlers, so we'll be able to do a lot of damage. These Void Rays won't be able to do anything if he can control them effectively. And we look back home, what is he up to? He's starting that Warp Gate again. Hasn't rebuilt a forge or anything like that, and it looks like we do have a transfuse on the Hydralisk. Now, did he lose any? I think he lost 1. He was on 5 initially. But these Void Rays really aren't being able to do much, and these Lings are just going to stream across the map. If we look, there actually are no cannons except for in the main, and all of these units are going to go down. The probes are the first priority, and we'll do a nice round on these Protoss units. And that's really all he has to do. The fact that he can't get a hard wall because he is macroing back up, all of these buildings will go down. He's chronoing out Warp Gate, wants to make sure he gets that before it goes down, and a sentry as well. But yeah, I don't know what a Kudus is going to be able to do. And he finally pulls the pin. There's the GG. That is the weirdest game I've ever casted. And does it tie it up at 1 apiece, so 1-1 to NazGaming versus InVision. Hopefully the third game I'll be more aware of what the hell is going on. But stick around, we will be having game number 3 starting hopefully very shortly. So we're just waiting on the next opponent from InVision. Yeah, that was a weird game, but it does tie it up at 1 apiece. Looks like we may be having a ZVZ, but again, all speculation at the moment. I will let you know as soon as I know when the next matchup is about to happen. And I have got an invite into a game lobby. So it looks like we will be having BevDog versus... Who is it going to be? It is on Antigua Shipyard, I can confirm that at the moment. It would have been chosen by the InVision representative. It looks like it might be Schmut. And looks like we're about to get started. I won't start another song. I will jump actually into the game lobby. As I think we're about to start, it is ZVZ. NazBevDog. Actually, while I'm here, I might as well update the scoreboard. At one apiece. And there we go, finally starting game number 3, one apiece. It will be NazBevDog versus InVision Schmut with Triple T. ZVZ. Interesting to see how this goes, if we will be seeing Baneling Wars, maybe a quick transition into Roaches. Guessing one of the SASL games we casted today actually was an amazing ZVZ. So hopefully we have a good ZVZ about to start. But looks like we're in the game, so we'll do the introductions and then get everything else sorted. So spawning in our top right hand corner, we do have the representative for InVision, our pink Zerg Schmut. And spawning cross positions in the bottom left hand corner, we do have the victor of the last crazy game. Some pretty interesting in-base hatcheries and all-round shenanigans. We do have the Naz representative, the dark blue Zerg BevDog. And again, let's jump into Schmut's cam as I update the scoreboard, so bear with me. Now, the first thing to note will be if any of them does opt for an expansion. It's pretty common to be on one base for some time. Then if you see an expansion from the opponent, then it's your job to put on the pressure. As far as I'm aware, I am a Terran Pro, so I will be casting from my knowledge. InVision, one apiece. BevDog. And I think we are all good here. Let me know if anything is incorrect on that board. But it is one apiece. At the moment, still best of 7. I haven't heard any news about extending it to a best of 9. There was talks earlier before we started this stream. But I guess, interestingly enough, we don't have a gas being taken from BevDog at the moment. Oh, we do have a gas into pool. Excuse me. From Schmut, so we'll be able to get that speedling out pretty soon. And interestingly enough, going for a 15 expand. So BevDog going for the expand, and I guess go burst this early speedling. Depending when Schmut scouts this, he will be able to do quite a bit of pressure with those lings early. Interesting to see if BevDog can fend it off. He is getting his spawning pool now. But even if he does get some lings, once that speedling does hit, it does make quite a big difference in any kind of ling-on-ling action. But neither party does look like they are drone scouting. So he actually doesn't know that there is a 15 expand. So if BevDog can hold this off without much issue, he will be in a pretty good stead for the mid-game transition. And we do have speed now starting. And 6 lings in production. So interesting to see if these all go to the opponent's base. I more than likely will have one or so stay in the middle. But if he sees his expo, which he will very shortly, it wouldn't surprise me if he gears up for a more aggressive approach. But it looks like he may be doing his own expo, so won't be able to do quite as much pressure as he might have been able to off one base. We do have the expo just completing, and the queen on the way. And looks like we have 6 lings, so it will be 6 lings versus 6 lings. The defender's advantage is obviously something to take into account, and getting that spine crawler is an important aspect when you do 15 expand, to get that spine crawler as a defensive matter, because you don't have the ability to make as many units, and the speed will start will complete pretty soon, and will make quite a big difference. But if this spine crawler can go up, it's in a decent position, although it can be surrounded. Maybe perhaps if he put it a bit closer so it had one less wall to be able to attack that. But you'd feel Schmut does realise that a 15 expand went down, and interesting to see how he reacts to this. Does have his second queen up, and actually has retreated all the way home. So it looks like Bevdog will be able to get away with the 15 expand. He is getting his Baneling Nest, so he will have that up early. So he might actually put on some pressure with those Banelings, or he could use it as a defensive. And there we go, we do have a Baneling Nest as well from Schmut. So pretty standard play. You can use the Baneling Nest defensively and offensively. And it'll be interesting to see how long, if it does happen, that we actually get into Roach play. But I guess that's the big thing about this Roach speed, is the fact that he can jump up into the base. These Lings can't attack as quickly as they probably would have liked to, but wasn't able to do any damage, so good hold from Bevdog. And looks like he's getting his own Spine Crawler, so 12 Lings in production, so it looks like Bevdog is gearing up for his own pressure. He does have the Baneling Nest now complete, 18 Lings in production, so this is quite a large force. He is on 19 drones versus 24 of Schmut, so it looks pretty likely that this is an all-in, or at least has to do quite a bit of damage, because he is sacrificing Econ to make all of these Banelings and Lings. Now, Schmut will see this coming. This is quite a sizable amount of army, and has 2 Banelings just completed, but more than likely we'll see a few more. 10 more Lings in production. Both parties do have a speed, and a lot of Banelings in production right in front of Schmut, so Schmut does know exactly how many are in production, 8 in total. And interesting to see how this pans out. It's going to come down to some clutch micro. If these Banelings can hit on these Banelings, it'll be interesting to see. But we do have 3 coming up at the moment. And 1 goes down, 2 goes down, and those 3 Banelings haven't been able to do anything. Interestingly, he's going for the Spine Crawler, and all of his Banelings is down, so he has to be careful. Now the advantage for the Banelings are now in Schmut's hands. He might have to retreat. Interesting choice to put those Banelings on those Spine Crawlers. Didn't go for the economy or the Lings, and will be forced back, at least temporarily. 20 Lings in production for Schmut, 18 for Bevdog, so it doesn't look like there's a transition into Roach play anytime soon. We do have 4 more Banelings coming up, and interesting to see if he goes for this Queen. I don't agree if he does. And we'll go straight for these Banelings. Oh no, he goes straight up. So we'll be actually going for the economy line. Needs to be careful. And a nice split. And actually only lost how many? 4 workers. But oh, if he had 1 more Baneling, it would make quite a bit of difference. But 6 workers killed. Look at the 19 versus 21. But again, I feel like Bevdog hasn't been able to use his Banelings probably as well as he would have liked to. Yeah, does have 4 more in production. 5, sorry. And we do have quite a few Banelings on the field. If we look at the unit count, 48, 54 Lings now versus 29. So a very heavy Ling advantage for Bevdog. But any kind of good Baneling hits can make quite a big difference. And a huge hit on about 7, I was about to say Zealots, Zerglings. So again, I feel like Schmut's doing pretty well to hold this, given the amount of investment both parties have put into this. These and very actually aggressively attacking these Banelings. Needs to be careful. We actually could lose a lot. And will he get one? Wow. A huge get from Bevdog, and will mean he can attack up into the base. And looks like he's straight into the mineral line, so taking a lot of drones out, but needs to be careful. Only wants to lose a few. Needs to split those Zealots, the Zerglings up, and making 4 Banelings of his own. And Schmut with a GG, realizing that that attack did way too much damage. And yeah, pretty clutch play from both players, but I feel like that 1 Baneling towards the end actually made quite a big difference, and that's really all it comes down to with Baneling Wars. 1 or 2 errors and the game is all done and dusted, so very quick game, but Bevdog is victorious, puts NazGaming up 2-1 in this best of 7, and we'll have to wait and see who is up next to try and stop this rampage. We will be back shortly. So I just got confirmation from Sang. At this point in time, it will be a best of 7 with an ace match worth 2 points. So something to consider. If that changes, I will let you know. I do have an invite into the game lobby, so it looks like we'll be starting game number 4 very shortly. I will let you know when I know who will be playing. Can confirm NazGaming, of course, will be playing Zerg. And looks like we were invited into the wrong map, so we'll be a little bit longer before we jump into the game. Metalopolis was chosen as opposed to the required Metropolis. Easy mistake. And I think we're... no. I don't know. We had a player in, but now he's gone. Maybe it's Kaiser. I'll jump into the screen so you guys can see what's going on. Quite a few spectators, actually. And it looks like it might be a ZBT, DevDog vs Kaiser. It looks pretty much like it. Hopefully I'll be able to cast a little bit more better as we do have a Terran player. Again, there is a significant amount of downtime, but finally we are getting into game number 4. Let me just knock off this score screen, as is incorrect at the moment. But it looks like we'll be having a Z v a T on Metropolis LE. Looking forward to it. Interesting to see if we have a standard game or another crazy game. The first two games were pretty weird. And hopefully we'll be able to jump into the game pretty soon. And there we go, finally in the game. So let's get stuff underway. Spawning in our bottom right hand corner, we do have the representative for NazGaming. Actually, I'll do it this way. Up 2-0 on a rampage, seeing if he can make that 3. We do have the light pink Zerg Bevdog. And spawning in our top right hand corner, we do have the representative for InVisioN, our Terran player. First Terran player of the set. We do have our purple Terran Kaiser. And let's jump in a cam while I update the scoreboard.
SCV ready.
And Kaiser with the mana lag. I think that's correct. Let me know if that is incorrect. NazGaming up 2-1 in this best of 7.
SCV ready.
And Bevdog versus Kaiser. I will jump back into my camp. So pretty standard opening. Getting that supplied over to Warlock. And Bevdog will actually scout pretty soon that there is the Terran across. He will be sending a drone scout as well, just to be sure. And that barracks going down. So really the thing to look out for is if we do actually have a gas go down. If we don't, more than likely we'll either be seeing 2 racks, but we'll know pretty shortly if that's going to happen, or a gasless expand. And interesting to see if Bevdog goes for that 15 expand. Looks like he actually is gearing up for it. Has quite a bit of money, and more than likely we'll see. And we do have that drone coming down now, so we'll be seeing a 15 hatch from Kaiser, sorry, from Bevdog. And the drone actually will be able to jump in here before the wall is complete. And actually is going to try and get a gas. Now, we do see that there has been no gas taken yet. So it could mean a few things. Actually doesn't get that extractor going. It does have the orbital command. So maybe seeing that gasless expand. We do have 300 minerals for Kaiser. Now, has he scouted? He has scouted that there was an expo going down, so it would be a safe bet to expand behind it. And it looks like we are, so we do have that gasless expand going down for Kaiser. So both parties opting for the economy base start will mean that we won't have any kind of pressure for a while. And it really does, a gasless expand, if you can play it effectively, actually does gear Terran up for quite a sizable force. You can do quite a few timings off a gasless expand. With those mules does mean that you get quite a bit of income, and this Marine will be started stepping. Won't actually be able to take out, and that's actually some pretty big news for Bevdog to see that there is an expand going down. If he had have denied that, Bevdog couldn't have assumed anything, but both parties do know that they have expanded. A bunker going down now as well, and actually both gases have been taken, so looks like we may be having a factory go down very shortly. Interesting to see what he kind of goes for. He might go for a factory. Could go 2 more barracks on top of that. Get some nice upgrade counts with an engineering bay as well. But again, we'll have to wait and see. We do have speed on the way as well. And it looks like we do have a factory going down. So more than likely we'll be seeing a reactor go down on this. We do indeed. So looks like we will be gearing up for a reactor Hellion. Although not guaranteed, it is somewhat known that Terrans can stay on the reactor, on the barracks, making 2 Marines at once, and just single creation of the Hellions. If you're not going to do much pressure with the Hellions, it's not exactly that urgent. He has got his expansion up, and he does know that there was a 15 expand, so he doesn't have to have those Hellions out as early to try and keep Zerg in his base. But he does have his Baneling Nest. Interestingly, putting his Baneling Nest at his natural. And we may be seeing... we have 10lings in production, so perhaps going for somewhat of a Baneling bust. We'll have to wait and see. 14lings in production, so it looks pretty confident that we'll at least have some sort of pressure. If we look here, we have two Marines in the bunker. We'll be starting 2 Hellions. So if he can make those Hellions in time to catch some of these Zerglings, could make quite a big difference. But again, looks like BevDog is gearing up for quite a big attack, only on 17 drones. Is pumping out 6 more lings as well, so he won't be able to get this supply depot wall. But what Case is doing here is building supply depots around the bunker so that the Zerglings can't actually attack, but we do have 6 Banelings in production. It will just bypass this bunker, go straight for the economy trade. And actually, will Kaiser be able to see this before it comes through? It doesn't look like. We do have the Banelings coming through now, and needs to be careful. Doesn't want to lose too many, and these Banelings will go straight past, and the workers are being pulled. Get some nice attack on those workers, and this will go down very quickly. The Hellions are on defensive. 2 more Hellions in production, and we'll have mass repair, so more than likely these Hellions will actually deal with... No, he does take the other supply depot down, so these SCVs will go down quite convincingly. These 3 Banelings will mean that those will be quite safe from any kind of marine pressure or anything like that. We do have 2 more Hellions just popping for some nice surround, and actually will use his Banelings on the Hellions. So now the Zerglings have free range to jump in the base. If we look at the unit count here, only one Hellion, and it's actually not in the base. So he's in a lot of trouble. He has to pull SCVs now. He needs to make sure that he keeps these Marines alive, but they both go down, and there's a GG. So good timing attack from BevDog, going for that Baneling bust, and unfortunately it was unable to defend it, Kaiser. And a quick and succinct victory pulls it 3-1 in the favor of NazGaming. 3 victories for BevDog. Can he be stopped? I guess we'll soon find out as we jump into game number 5 very shortly. So stick around, we'll be back soon. So I guess while we have a bit of downtime, for those of you who aren't aware of SASL, we are based in South Australia. We actually are in the middle of a tournament ourselves, actually in round 2 at the moment. So if you want to see some nice casts, or not necessarily nice casts, but a lot of games being played, we do have a 50 player pool. Be sure to subscribe. Do try to stream as many games as possible, but looks like I have been invited into a game lobby. It will be at Shakura's Plateau. And there are discussions about maybe extending it to a best of 9. Okay, so I do have confirmation we will be jumping it up to a best of 9. So it looks like we will be having some more games to be played on top of what we originally were. And it looks like it might be InVisioN Standard, another ZVZ. I'm not sure how close we are to the game, so I will start some more music. But yeah, again, so we will be seeing a ZVZ. It appears on Shakura's Plateau. Oh, no way, we are not having that song. What are you doing, random song? What are you doing? Let us get this one. There we go. Get out of here, Calvin Harris. No one likes you. No, we have another switch. InVision now popping in Forbes. So at this point in time, it is a TVZ. BevDog in the toilet. Lots of downtime on this one. A bit unfortunate, but that's okay. I will take this opportunity to do a bit of background research. And here we go. In the middle of some research, we will be starting the, what is this, the 5th game? I think this is the 5th game. As we jump into the game, we'll turn the sound off and also take off the scoreboard. Will be a TVZ again. InVision chucking in Forbes. Let's get straight into it. Spawning in our top left-hand corner. Excuse me, we do have the representative of the man we were just speaking about then for InVision. We do have the red Terran at Forbes. And spawning across positions in... Oh, what's going on here? What's going on here? There we go. Spawning in our bottom right hand corner, we do have he's been in this for 3 games now, taking down 3 of InVision's best. See if he can make it 4. We do have the light pink Zerg Naz BevDog. And extractor trick going down. Let's jump into Forbes cam. You can have a headache while I update the scoreboard. Now we have seen, I think in all of the games, NazGaming has gone, or attempted to go for a 15 expand, so maybe we'll see that again from him.
Additional support.
And it does mean it is 3-1 in NazGaming's favour.
SCV ready.
Alright, cool. I think that's all good. Let me know if anything is incorrect.
SCV ready.
3-1. Yep, actually no, I gotta make it a best of 9 now, as it has been jumped up. Get excited. Alright, cool. Alright, enough of you. Let's get straight into it. So, let's look. We do have a pretty standard opening, actually going for an early wall off, so he isn't getting that early gas. So we may be seeing a gas expand as well, as we do have a scout from BevDog, and it looks like we did have that 15 expand as well. As pretty common now, we've seen, maybe it is something that he does every game. As Forbes comes in now, we'll see that there is that 15 expand. We'll more than likely jump up here as well, just to make sure, see if there's any gas being taken and where the pool's at, which will confirm that there was a 15 hatch. And we'll just scout around the base for as long as he can. And this drone will be forced out. And looks like we will be gearing up for an expansion from Forbes as well. Seeing that, like I said last game, seeing that there was a 15 hatch, it means that you can pretty safely build a command center down the bottom. It's unlikely you will have any significant, I guess, pressure put on that expo. Only a few lings would ever attack, and you can always defend that with some marines. Now, there are a lot of people who wonder why Terrans now are building their command center down the bottom. You can obviously build it up the top and then lift it down. But really, I guess if you can feel pretty confident about getting it down and building it down at your natural, it does save just a few seconds of mining time. It means you can transfer workers if you want earlier. You can start that orbital command from the position, and basically, if you can get away with it, you might as well. So, yeah. Really, unless you're trying to hide the expo, or you have the potential to be pressured, there's no real need to build it up top. And the bunker going down, a defensive bunker, just like you would have a spine crawler if you were Zerg. We more than likely won't see a spine crawler just yet, unless he sees a factory pop up. Which we do actually have a factory starting now, but it is nowhere near the barracks, so maybe either trying to hide it, or maybe we won't be seeing a reactor heli in play. But we do have double gas being taken, so perhaps we'll see fast factory, or fast tanks, or perhaps go straight into medevac play with some MMM. Have to wait and see, but I guess back home we do have speed all about 2/3 complete. Still only one gas being taken. And actually, no, he's going for a double factory, so it looks like we may be gearing up for mech play from Forbes. I do love mech play. Now, if it does turn out to be mech play, then the big thing about Big Dog is he needs to make sure he scouts it as soon as possible. The longer you have, well, the longer that a Terran has that to build a mech army, the easier it will be for him to win. If you can scout it early enough, you can build a lot of roaches. And basically just abuse the fact that that teching up is very immobile. But it looks like we have a Blue Flame Hellions in production, and we do have a reactor going down, so it looks pretty confident that we will be having that tech play. We do have a third going down for BevDog, so pretty greedy. If we look at his scouting information, he did know that there was an expo up, so perhaps just felt like he could decide to do that, but these lings will come in for a secondary scout. And more than likely won't be able to jump into the base, and actually no, they are all taken, and yeah, pretty clutch. Yeah, there was no wall to be had there, so you would have been able to jump up, seen the 3 factories, and that is definitely confirmation we'll be seeing tech play from BevDog. So we'll be getting those Blue Flame Hellions out, trying to keep Zerg in his base for as long as possible, and then gear up to transition into some siege tanks and Thors, and basically go from there. So interesting to see. We do have a layer tech on the way with a second gas being taken, actually getting 2 more gases to make that 4, so we might be seeing I guess obviously some heavy play. Interesting to see we do have an Evo. Will it be a double Evo? It will be a double Evo, so we'll be getting those double upgrades. And interesting to see when he gets a Roach Warren, if he does. He still has no idea that this mech play is on the way. We do have a third going down as well for BevDog. But now that is a good scout from BevDog. This will confirm that we do have mech play. And now it is a matter that he has to build some roaches. More than likely we'll be seeing that roach warren go down very shortly. And there it is, we do have the roach one starting. So some good information, good intel from BevDog. It does show the benefit of having some good overlord placement at the start of the game. He does know what's coming, and it's pretty early in the mech play, so we'll be able to build a counter force pretty convincingly. But the spine crawlers probably won't be up in time, actually, depending if he goes up. There is no workers though in this expansion. And he does scout, so nice spine crawler defense. There is no creep spread from BevDog. And we do have the roach warren just popping, so more than likely we'll be seeing some roaches come out very shortly. Meanwhile, we do have 2 more factories in production. We already have level 1 weapons on the way with a second armory. So we'll be getting that 1-1, that double upgrades up as soon as possible. 10 roaches in production. We'll be able to repel these Hellions pretty convincingly as he jumps up. And we'll actually be able to just bypass this. And we'll be able to roast a lot of drones. I think the thing about BevDog is he didn't use his... if we look here, he didn't use his Evo chambers as part of a wall, and all of those drones do go down. We'll be able to just run straight into the main, and these roaches aren't out in time, and needs to be careful with these drones. He's going to lose a lot of them if he's not careful. No pulling of any drones, and they are just getting roasted to bits. And even though he scouted a BevDog, not being able to get rid of these Hellions. And if we look here, 26 workers killed. We are down to 19, and that is never a good situation to be in. It's important that he had these spine crawlers up, but he didn't have a wall that they just ran straight through. And those roaches popped a little bit too late. And definitely definitely Forbes in a great spot at the moment. He now has the economy lead, has 3 expos up. If we look at the units, he does have 1 Thor, 2 tanks, and just a few marines, a handful of marines. But he does have, I think, did he get... he is almost complete on level 1 upgrades. Not starting the vehicles yet, but we do have the roach counterattack. And if BevDog didn't lose so many workers, he would be in a pretty good situation at the moment. He's got 1-1. He did see the tech play pretty early, but lost so many drones. It's going to be hard to kind of come back from this. These Hellions will do what they can. They won't be able to do much. The siege tanks will come through. These the Thor will be able to do a lot of damage. Probably more than likely we'll see this lift up, actually. No real point mass repairing it. And this Thor just actually sitting around. So basically the situation at the moment is if BevDog can kill this third and then drone up really hard behind it, he might have a chance, but it's going to be exceptionally hard. The Thor does go down though, so nice get there. And these roaches will pop up straight away. But these siege tanks will be able to deal with these roaches pretty quickly. And they will be repelled. So it doesn't look like BevDog's going to be able to take this third. It is consolidated. And really, it's up to now, as we see, it's 12 drones in production. BevDog just has to play exceptionally greedy. Can't afford to make any units. And really now it's up to Forbes to apply that pressure continuously. He has the advantage, but if he's not careful, he can let BevDog straight into the game. And I do like what BevDog is doing. He's just pure droning. He has nice saturation back up again, back up to 49, and soon we'll actually meet. There we go, so almost at the same level again. And really it's up to Forbes to keep applying the pressure, because you know, if we look at the lava count, he only has 7 lava. Is building 9 roaches though, so BevDog with a nice hold. Even though he lost so many workers, still has recovered most of them, but it's never in an ideal situation. And it looks like we might be gearing up for an attack soon. We do have a level 1 armor for the siege tanks or the mech play almost complete. Level 2 on the way. And if we look at the composition back home, we do have 4 factories with tanks. Sorry, with tech labs and 1 with reactors. So he's still pumping out some Hellions. And looks like these roaches are going to abuse the fact that mech is very immobile. But it looks like, oh, he should jump up there. He does have a lot of spine crawlers, but he still would be able to do a lot of damage. And needs to be careful not to over jump himself. But we do have the roaches attacking at the third, and Forbes will be forced to retreat. He has 2 options. He either can retreat, or he can apply his own pressure, which it looks like he is. And we'll just use his defender's advantage to build some more tanks and basically take out this roach army. We do have level 2-2 upgrades on the way for the roaches. These roaches are going to go past these tanks. And I feel Forbes is maybe producing a bit too many Hellions, because he isn't able to do much damage versus these roaches, but the siege tanks are doing quite a bit of damage. But these roaches are coming through. We'll get in the tank line, and we'll actually be able to more than likely take out these other two tanks. Will actually, oh no, good focus firing up from the siege tanks. If we look here, he's got a nice hold position, but I'd like to see him spread out a little bit more so that he can catch out any roaches that try and bypass. It looks like this roach will be repelled. Still has the third up. If we look at the worker count, 64 v 57. Still pretty close. He could scan actually, get rid of some of these creep tumors. And really it's up to Forbes to apply the pressure. If he lets this roach army get too big, then it will be able to deal with this, as he doesn't have many Thors on the field. And that one medivac is making quite a big difference. These roaches will be able to engage and more than likely take out these siege tanks, which is a nice trade. And looks like Forbes is doing the attack. Maybe seeing these Hellions jump up into the base when these spine crawlers have done their job. Again, a lot of minerals from both parties. And I was about to say I'd like to see a fourth. We do see a fourth now going down for Forbes, so keeping that advantage. And these roaches really need to attack very shortly. This is a lot better spread from Forbes, and looks like the roaches are attacking. We'll take down one, and he can just basically scan, and he will scan. There we go. And we'll take out quite a few roaches. We do have level 1 complete, 2-1 actually now complete. Level 2 armor upgrade almost complete as well. And finally we have some Thors out on the field. 2 Thors in production. And really Forbes in a sizable, in a good position. Bevdog is forced to play defensively. And looks like we even have a 5th going down. Will be scouted by Bevdog. And these roaches will get piled. And then basically from there, it was a nice burrow. Did get a lot of these tanks actually. And lifts up the Thor. More than likely we'll see it on the high ground here. I'd like to see him drop it on the high ground. He's not going to drop it on the high ground. Okay. Nonetheless, we do have Spire Tech on the way as well. And Infestation Pit. So basically, I guess looking forward, basically, if Bevdog can get Hive Tech and get those, we do have 4 changes. If if Bevdog can get Hive Tech and get a Greater Spire, they all go down to 1 fire. But yeah, if Bevdog gets Hive Tech, gets those Broodlords out, and gets a sizable Roach army to get rid of the Thors, then he has a good opportunity to take the game out. But equally, once you get 3-3 armor and weapon upgrades, these Thors decimate Broodlords unless they have their upgrades. So I'd really like, he does have this Spire Tech, and looks like we may have these roaches pop up anytime soon. So even though he has this Spire Tech, I'd like to see him start upgrading on the armor of air. Just gearing up for the late game. And here we go, the Unburrow will take out a lot of these tanks, actually getting a nice amount of the tanks in transit. But again, a nice spread and a lot of Thors on the field will stop this up quite convincingly. Basically the longer this game goes on, the stronger Forbes' army becomes. He will be 3-2 very shortly. He does have his 5th. How many bases is he on now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. And 66 workers, a decent amount. And we do have Hive Tech starting now, so more than likely we'll be seeing that Greater Spire go down pretty soon after Hive completes. I would like to see this Carapace started. Like I said, Thors with 3 upgrades, which they are now, do quite a bit of damage versus the Broodlords, unless they have enough armor to deal with it. As we can see here, there are 4 attacks from the Thors, so they are low damage, high quantity. So each level of upgrade does quite a bit of defense and a nice defensive attack. These roaches will be able to take out quite a few of these tanks. And actually he doesn't have much home. Most of his army is out on the engage. and really only has these Hellions for defense. He will be using these SCVs as a block. I'd like to see him play a little bit more defensively in the sense that these roaches are doing quite a bit of damage. If we look at the units lost, he is on 26 v 31, but it looks like these Thors are getting roasted at the moment. But these he is level 3 and a GG. Whoa! He didn't even get to tier 3, so apologies, I stumbled a little bit there, but I guess the big thing was losing those drones early meant that Dog did have to drone up quite convincingly, and wasn't able to take the game. As I said, the longer that tech can be out on the field, it does mean it gets a lot stronger, and I would have liked to have seen some drop play. It is pretty common when you see tech to see a Zerg start upgrading the speed of overlords and drops, and just doing roach drops all around the field. As you can obviously appreciate, Thors and tanks are very immobile, and if you can just drop everywhere as if you're a Terran player, then it does force them to go all around the map, and you can do quite a bit of damage. So let's jump into some music. We'll be back shortly with game number 6, I believe it is. So stick around. And actually, no, we are jumping straight into the game lobby. I love it. Oh man, I need a drink. And Taurim Altar is the map choice. So Bevdog's reign finally has been completed. He did take out 3 of InVision's crew. It does make it 3 to 2, I think. Yes, 3 to 2. So this will be the 6th game. And it looks like we may be having a PVT. Crispy representing NazGaming. And we are jumping into the countdown. So let's get the wonderful Wombats off as we get the game sounds going. I will jump into the screen. We do have a PVT on Taurim Altar, as chosen by the Protoss, as you would probably assume. Protosses do love Taurim Altar. And interesting to see what we gear up for here. Whether we do have that gasless expand from Forbes, given the size of the map. But let's jump straight into it. Spawning in our bottom right hand corner, we do have the representative for NazGaming replacing Bevdog, the green Protoss Crispy, and spawning all the way across positions on this huge map. We do have the representative for InVision taking out big Bevdog with some nice mech play, and eventually overwhelming. We do have the red Terran Forbes. Let's jump into Crispy's point of view while I update the scoreboard. Does make it 3 to 2, still in the favour of NazGaming. And apologies if any of you get a headache from watching that. Crispy. Alright, I think we're all sweet. Again, let me know if anything is incorrect as we jump straight back into my cam. We do have, no, we don't have squad barracks going down. Sometimes you do see actually a no racks expand on this map. It is a lot riskier, a lot greedier. You can wall off with the command center, but generally it's not that common, especially against Protoss. We do have Crispy scouting. He may be going up for a cross map. No. Looks like it will be scouting up the top right, and then more than likely will be scouting up the top left. So will be a second choice of scout route. Equally, it looks like Forbes might be incorrectly scouting as well. Or he might actually be going straight for cross positions. We'll soon find out. Back home, we do have the supply depot wall completing. No gas being taken yet, so more than likely we'll be seeing that gasless expand. Meanwhile, at the Protoss base, that gas was taken. Cyber core going down, pretty standard. Not gearing up for that 15 Expo. And both parties incorrectly guessing, but it will be Crispy who will correctly guess, or rather will get to the base at first. We do have the second gas being taken from the Protoss, so we'll be gearing up for some early tech. Maybe even see. And is that a hard wall? It is a hard wall. And Crispy will see this SCV here, and more than likely assume that there will be an expansion going down, as he does go down. And 500 mils, there we go, the Expo going down. So we do have that gasless expand. Meanwhile, Forbes now finally getting his scouting information. We'll see. It's important to see that he does have that second gas. It will let him know that some sort of tech-based play is on the way. There are a countless amount of tech-based plays you can have. It really depends when we see either the Robo or the Twilight Council. Also how many gates we see, and if he expos behind it. Now, the fact that a Stalker came out first is an interesting thing to note. And we do have 2 more racks in production, so maybe gearing up for a more bio-based game, or play, sorry, and getting the 4th rack. So, more than likely we'll see 2 tech labs go down on these barracks to get that combat shield and stim up as soon as possible. But there we go, we do have a Twilight Council going down, so perhaps more than likely we'll be seeing some Blink Stalker action, as we do have 2 Stalkers on the field. Also getting a Robo, so it looks pretty convincingly like we'll have an Obs Blink, potentially an all-in off 1 base. We do have nice bunker placement. I guess if we look at the vision of the map, if it is Obs base play, he can actually blink up into the main through here, bypass all of the bunkers, and do quite a bit of damage. He also has the option to blink through here, but it does require you to blink twice. And looks like this SCV will be going for a secondary scout. And we do actually have that blink on the way. And more than likely we'll be seeing that observer come out, and potentially even chronoed. And we do have the observer. So 2 more gates in production. He will see, now I don't think, no, this is a good placement for this Twilight Council. We'll see the Robo, but won't actually see the Twilight Council. Now, will he be able to go in? He does have 15 more health. Will he be able to take 1 more shot? No, he doesn't. And more than likely we'll be seeing a pylon. There we go. Here's the pylon. So, it looks like we are actually having the pylon down here. Interestingly, not opting for up here. Perhaps just trying to see if there is a third being taken. If we look back home, we actually didn't get any tech labs, and still only on 0 gas. On no gas, sorry. So it is a pure marine-based force. I am really interested to see what is going on, or what he's going to be up for. He is making a defensive bunker in his main, and some nice spread of his marines. So these marines will be able to do quite a bit of damage versus these stalkers, as long as they can see them early enough. And another pylon going down. So I didn't actually take note of the fact that there are no gases being taken. And Forbes is playing very defensively. He has a total of how many? He has 5 bunkers, and it looks like these stalkers are going to be blinking very shortly. The obs is on the way. If he can get rid of this obs, it's kind of a pretty big deal, because and interestingly, going for the front, I'm not sure why he would do that. It does reveal that there is blink play. I would have thought he would have blinked down and trying to go on past this. Given that he saw the obs, he would have seen that there were 3 bunkers here, so I'm not sure exactly why he did opt to attack at the main. I would have liked to have seen him build a pylon here and attack up from this blink position. And this supply depot will go down. He does reveal that he has an observer. And we'll just take care of this refinery. And more than likely we'll retreat after that. Nice blink micro. But again, Crispy not really using the mobility of his... and actually offensively blinking in, which is quite a big deal. He's actually going for the bunker. He's losing a lot of stalkers for no real reason. I really dislike the way he's engaging. He is doing quite a bit of damage, but again, he could have done a lot more. I feel nice blink micro. These SCVs are being required to be pulled, and we do have more stalkers in production. Needs to get. It doesn't actually have any more units. If we look, we have 9 Marines on the field. The stalker does go down, but again, even though he attacks straight into a bunker, he actually has managed to clean it up quite convincingly. So much investment into these bunkers and also these barracks does mean that he is very disadvantaged when it comes to an army size. How many barracks is he doing? He's up to 6 barracks now. And again, it's going to be exceptionally hard for Forbes to hold this. The fact that you have Blink Micro means that these the DPS potential of these stalkers are significantly higher, and Tadrim Ultra too good for the build. And there's the GG. Crispy taking it with a Blink, Obs all in, and we'll make it 4-2 in NazGaming's favor. Now, like I said, I'm pretty sure it is a best of 9, so we may be seeing the ace match play now. At least the ace for InVisioN will be required. And we'll have to basically team kill from now on. As we get some music going back in. But we'll be back shortly with game number 7. I think it's 7. Is it? No. 6. What is it? What is it? Oops, no, that one. What is it? Yeah, game number 7. There we go. It does make it 4-2 in the favor of NazGaming versus InVisioN. But I guess looking back at that game, I mean, Crispy, cool, all the credit to him, was able to take it out quite convincingly in the end. I just felt that his choice of engagements could have been better. But again, end of the day, as long as you win, that's the main thing. Perhaps there was too much investment put into barracks play from Forbes. Maybe a bit too much into those bunkers as well. But again, Blink Observer all-in is exceptionally powerful. So I'm just waiting on the next play. Again, I know as much as you guys know. I think they're trying to find... oh, here we go. Here's an invite. Love it. Looks like we'll be gearing up for another game pretty soon. Thanks for sticking around. There has been a lot of downtime. But hopefully the game quality is enough to stick around for. This could potentially be the last game. Will be Forbes representing InVision. Actually, no, Forbes did just lose. Apologies. What am I talking about? Crispy will be the representative for NazGaming. So it appears that there was just a little bit of downtime as they picked the map. Metalopolis was the map choice.
This is the longest night. We're meeting arms to arms. Nothing is wasted and life is worth living. Heaven is nowhere, just look to the stars. There is a day that is yours for embracing.
And here we go, finally we jump into the next game, game number 7. And I'll jump into the game screen now. We do have Crispy vs Stinger. It will be a PVZ on Metalopolis. And this is the last player for InVision. If I'm not mistaken, it is their ace. Let's see what he has in store for us. So spawning in the top right hand corner, let's jump straight into it. We do have the representative for NazGaming. Victorious in the last game with some nice blink obs all in play. We do have the dark blue Protoss Crispy. And spawning close by air, we do have the light, or I should say light, just the green Zerg. The ace, the last hope for InVision. Can he take out Crispy? And then the rest of the team, we do have the green Zerg Stinger as we jump into his cam. I will update the scoreboard, bear with me. Now, close by air does give a lot of options to both parties, actually. Could be some Stargate play. Now, both players do know that they are straight away close by air. No hiding of the Overlord. As I update. So, yeah, basically we'll just see how this pans out. If Stinger goes for a 15 expand, doesn't seem like he is maybe gearing up for it. And it is Stinger versus Crispy. I think we're all good. Let me know. I think we're all good. Again, let me know if anything is incorrect, but we do have a forge, a fast expand from Crispy. in this kind of wall. Actually, I don't think I've seen it very often. Actually, no, I guess it's somewhat. You can use the Nexus. I was going to say it's not going to be one that you use with the buildings. More than likely, we'll see the Nexus come down here with a cannon, maybe the gateway and the cyber core. But definitely gearing up for that early expand. Hatchery also going down 15 expand for Stinger. So both. Oh, was it a 15 expand? I think actually he got his spawning pool out earlier. I wasn't actually paying attention. Yes, he did start the spawning pool first. Didn't actually get any gas, so we'll be getting that queen out early. As we see, it is starting now. We'll be able to get that second queen out in time for the expo to go up. Meanwhile, no gas being taken. Pretty standard, and obviously because he is going for the Forge Fast expand, he's scouted by Stinger. As I suggested, we do have the cannon at the back, and it is a hard wall up to this point in time. We'll see the pylon go down there, and maybe even the second cannon in the mineral line. Approximately somewhere around here, maybe even a harder wall with the cybernetics core, but we'll soon find out. But we do have a pylon, maybe even trying for a cannon rush. He can potentially pylon himself in. It is a visible, actually no, wow, surprisingly it's not visible by Stinger at the moment. Until this hatchery actually completes, it won't be scouted. There are lings on the field, and the pylon just completes, so we'll be able to start a pylon. Unless this probe does go down, and it does, good hold from Stinger. We'll be able to take down this pylon for no gain for Crispy. That is the advantage of going for a Forge expand. You can always do a cannon rush. Do you have a third going down for Stinger, so playing a bit greedy. Pretty safe though when you have that expo. You know once again that you aren't going to be attacked for quite a sizable amount of time. Double gas being taken. And a cyber core not being part of the wall, opting for a more safer position. And these lings will scout around, seeing more than likely just trying to get a gauge of how many cannons are at the front. As a Zerg player, you can see how many cannons are at the front and whether there's any potential to pick off pylons such as this, which he will be able to take off this pylon. Yeah, I would have liked to have, this Zealot will be able to deal with these Zerglings, but something to note as a Protoss player is you want to make sure that if you do hard wall in or something, that you at least have a cannon or some sort of unit in range of the remainder of your buildings. But he's pretty safe now with that Zealot, given that Stinger did double expand. You won't have to worry about any pressure. But notably, we do actually have, and there we go, we do have the second cannon. So I like that play. It just means that you're more safer at the front. I mean, if he went for roaches and he attacked from here, he would have been able to take out this pylon and even actually maybe have attacked the Nexus without any concern. But now with that second cannon, he cannot do so. We do have a Twilight Council going down as well, so potentially we may be seeing a similar build. Definitely not a one base all in, as we do have the second gate. Sorry, the second base already up and running, but more than likely we'll be seeing that blink, and there we go, we do see the blink starting now. Blinks are pretty safe, pretty standard, pretty reliable. It does make the potential of your stalkers a lot bigger, just like Stim does for your bio units as Terran. Means the DPS potential, the life potential is a lot bigger. But we do have a Roach Warren almost complete for Stinger, so we might attempt to break this wall, or at least try and do a bit of pressure to Crispy. We do actually have 2 gates in production with 2 more on the way. It will bump it up to 5 gates in total. In fact 6, so we might actually be gearing up for a 6 gate blink all in. Actually no, there we go, the 7th. So that does confirm that we'll be having an all in from Crispy. At least it's very hard to transition out of a 7 gate unless you can somehow exceptionally cripple the Zerg opponent, but don't quite kill him. So more than likely, as we do see the upgrade on the way, will be a timing attack with this upgrade completing. Blink is now almost complete. And basically, more than likely, we'll be seeing a pylon go down. Does he know? I think he knows. No, see, he doesn't know that there is a third up. We'll be able to see that pretty shortly. So now it's just a matter of getting up a sizable amount of stalkers. And you can also get zealots as well. It's not you're not required to just do stalkers. But if we look back home, he is starting double upgrades. He does have 4 gas, so potentially we'll be seeing. Is he on? Yeah, he is on layer tech, so maybe even roach speed soon. And if we look at the harvester count, 42 v 45, so pretty close. Both on 3 base versus 2 base. Zerg, you always want to be 1 base up on the Protoss player. You want to try and deny that third for as long as possible. Once Protoss get on a 3rd base or even a 4th, especially on a 4th, with that gas income, their army just becomes exceptionally stronger. And a nice pylon positioning here will mean that he can walk down on the low ground. And we do have the offensive pylon coming in. So we do have 1 attack. It will be a 7 gate. No, definitely no expo will be coming behind this. These spine crawlers won't be up in time. And nice blink back, but probably didn't need to blink all of them back. And the Stinger GG's out. He realizes he is in no capacity to take this on. And it is a quick and succinct end as NazGaming. I did actually, if we jump it up, does push it up to 5. And it does mean that they take it out, I believe. I mean, there was a 2-point system for the ace. I think that's it. I will wait for confirmation. But unfortunately, it was a pretty quick game. But nothing wrong with that. Good timing attack. 7 gate all in is pretty strong. And it appears like that is all. So NazGaming taking out 5-2 versus InVision. Yeah, obviously I'm around if any more gaming's clan wars come around. I was, I guess, recapping on the set. First 2 games were pretty crazy. I didn't know what was going on. We did see that pretty funny PvP, and the Immortal I felt was definitely the key aspect of that. And then the second game with BevDog doing those 2 hatcheries in the base. It was back and forth and eventually took it out, and from there it kind of were a bit one-sided games, but still nonetheless quality entertainment. Apparently NazGaming are interested in looking for some other clan wars as well. I'm sure InVision, TA, all that fun stuff, so look out for some more clan wars. I'll upload this to YouTube and put up a thread on SC2 SEA, so you should be able to watch the VOD from there. We are SASL. We do have plenty of games still to come in our Season 3, so be sure to check us out, subscribe, and I guess we'll see you next time. My name is Baldy. It's been a pleasure, and peace.